Okay, so this is your second mole video, and what we want to do is talk about moles and mass. So do you think a dozen donuts and a dozen bricks would have the same or a different mass? And so the answer to that question is different. You have the same number of each of them, but donuts weigh a different amount than bricks do, right? So moles of different substances have different masses because they have different compositions. In other words, they are made up of different stuff. Different stuff has different masses. So the definition of molar mass is the mass in grams of 1 mole of any pure substance. It is going to be equal to, so molar mass is equal to the atomic mass. And where can we find atomic mass? That's on the periodic table. Units for molar mass are always grams per mole because it is the mass of 1 mole, so grams per mole. So an example, if we look at our periodic table and we find manganese, and the reason why I've asked you to memorize some of the element symbols is because it'll be easier to find this stuff on here. So manganese is right here, and you can see the average atomic mass, or the molar mass, is 54.938. And atomic mass is measured in AMUs, and molar mass is the exact same number, but it's going to be measured in grams per mole. So if we were to measure out this mass on a scale, you would have exactly 1 mole of manganese atoms. What are we going to use this for? Let me try to use an example that you might be familiar with. So have you ever opened a bag of pizza rolls and gotten 16, but then opened another bag of pizza rolls and maybe gotten 14 or 15? I have. So why do you think this is? And I'll tell you the reason. So the reason is pizza rolls are counted by weight. So when you're in manufacturing, they don't have time to count out those pizza rolls, right? So they weigh 1, and then they figure out how many they want to be in there, and they multiply by that many, and then they just fill the bag to that weight. So we're going to figure out how to do calculations with molar mass. So find the mass of manganese that equals 3 moles. So we're going to start with 3 moles of manganese. You always start with what they give you. Draw my T. I'm going to look that manganese mass up if you don't remember it. It's on your other side. It's also right here. So diagonals have to match. So in 1 mole of manganese, I have 54.938 grams of manganese. And if you notice that grams per mole is our unit here, we're using it as a conversion factor. Moles cancel out, and I'm left with grams. So let's do that math. I can only have 1 sig fig here. So this is what I get on my calculator. So I'm going to round that to 200 grams of manganese. Okay, here are the answers to the rest of the practice problems so that you can check your answers. And I'll see you in the next video.